is going to end on the 6th of February, and it have gathered a large number of writers and around 1,047 publishers. Among them are 707 Egyptian writers and publishers. It gathered also a large number of countries that have participated this year in the 54th edition. The character of the exhibition this year is the poet Salah Jahin, and the character of the children's fair this year is Kamil El-Kilani, who was specialized in writing stories for the children. Well, to shed more light on this, we have the pleasure to have this phone with Dr. Iman Marzouk, a member of the Egyptian Writers Union. Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, Dr. Marzouk, a large number of countries have participated this year after being absent in previous years, like Eritrea, India, Ghana, Kuwait, Morocco, and African publishers, Kuwait, and a number. How do you see this?
It's a very good start because, as you mentioned, the Cairo International Book Fair is the oldest and the biggest book fair in the Middle East region, and has become a hub that attracts everyone to visit Egypt for 2 weeks. It includes over 1,000 publishing houses, and there is more than 500 cultural events and creative activities. Also, it contains multiple exhibition halls packed with writers, publishers, and storytellers. So it attracts many countries, about 53 countries, to share in this great event. So it was a very good step to share in Cairo International Book Fair 54th edition.
Yes, Dr. Marzouk, also the fair this year gathered a large number of startups. So how do you see the importance of the new writers participating in this year's fair?
Yeah, it's a very important issue that offered a chance for even small publishing houses from various countries to participate in the Cairo International Book Fair, and contributed to a huge turnout of fair visitors and publishers, sharing new experiences, adding new values, and offered their new ideas and publications for the book fair visitors. So it was a very good point to give them the chance to share in this great event.
Yes. So this year's guest of honor is Jordan. So how do you see this?
I think it's a very good choice because Egypt-Jordan relations refer mainly to the strong bilateral links and relations since independence. The two countries have maintained good relations and strong cultural links.
Yes.
So this year, Jordan participation came under the theme Jordan civilization and of the past and the creativity of the future, and featured literary, cultural, and folkloric activities aimed to introduce diverse Jordanian culture and creative products, in addition to display quality books and good publications.
Yes, so Dr. Marzouk, also the poet and the writer Salah Jahin has been chosen as the personality of this year's edition of the book fair. So we need to learn more about the activities related to choosing Salah Jahin for to be the character of this year.
Yes, as you know, Jahin is known as a comic poet, but also his poetry has a deep social and cultural purpose. He considered as a multi-talented artist who has also been known in the music field. So the 54th edition of the event focused on the Jahin poetry, biography, and his comics, which involved in the event program. During the last week or the first week of the book fair, many of those who accompanied him on his literary and academic career provided the visitors with much valuable information about him. Also, the slogan of the Cairo International Book Fair is Egypt's identity, culture, and the question of the future. So the Supreme Committee of the Book Fair announced that Jaheen complete poetic work will be printed. And it's a very good issue for the visitors of the book fair.
Yes, also the character of this year's concerning the children's exhibition is Kamil Kilani, who was a pioneer in writing literature for children and stories for children. So could you give us an idea about him, please?
Yes, as you mentioned, the Egyptian writer and translator for the children, Kamil Kilani, is considered one of the pioneers of children's literature in the Arab world. He started by translating children's international classics in the late 1920s. Moreover, Kamil Kilani used the classical language in addressing the children in his stories, and it seems that he wanted the Egyptian child to grow up connected to the present and also the great Egyptian history.
Yes. Dr. Marzouk, during this fair this year, there was a big participation for women who were start-uppers and wrote books for the first time. Could you give us an idea about the participation of women in the fair?
Yes, there's a great participation from women in this book fair. And also, the National Council for Women has a good corner inside the book fair in hall number 3. Also, a lot of organization and community partnership, we can find them in the book fair. There is a huge role of institutional and community partnership, several initiatives and the project of being launched with official institutions such as National Council for Women, participation of Egyptian ministries, institution like also Ministry of Defense, Ministry of Interior, Ministry of Awqaf, Ministry of Youth and Sport. So the women, we can find a lot of publications from women in the book fairs in different publication houses, and a lot of wanted to take a look about these publications.
Yes, what were the things that attracted you for this year's edition of the book fair? What was new about this edition this year?
There are many events and outdoor activities, theaters, and provided some music shows, puppets for children, and also as well there is a corner for restaurants and cafes. In addition to many valuable seminars already carried out during the last week, I think all of these activities attracted a huge number of visitors and attracted even children, yes, and teenagers to visit the Cairo International Book Fair and enjoy the time in that good place.
Yes, Dr. Marzouk, you've mentioned also the outdoor activities that took place in the fair. Also, there was the performance of Leila Kibira, or the Grand Night, which is written by Salah Jaheen, who is the character of this year's edition of the book fair. And it was directed by Salah Al-Saqqa, and it was composed, the music was composed by Sayed Mikawi. Okay, we knew and we read the news that this performance of the puppets attracted a large number of visitors, and it was, the most important thing that attracted the visitors for this year's edition. So give us an idea about this.
Yes, there is a huge number of visitors this year. I think it exceeds 2.5 million visitors till now. And the outdoor activities, as you mentioned, with the puppet theater and a lot of music shows and good things attracted many people, attracted families, attracted the children to be there in the book fair. And also the time is filled with enthusiasm and motivation. So a lot of visitors want to participate in this great event and want to share time with their friends and families during this week.
Yes, Dr. Marzouk, of course, the Leila Kibira or the Grand Night is a play that was performed or was written 62 years ago, and it's important, of course, for the new generation and the children to know more about this, preserving heritage and getting back the memories of the old people and letting the young generation to know more about it. How do you see the importance of this point in this edition of the book fair this year?
Yeah, it's a very important point because it connects the new generations to the history and give them feelings with their country, their culture, their writers, and it's a very good point to remember the children and to get information to them about these great writers and try to connect their present with the past and with their history.
Yes, what can you talk to us about the main focus of this year's fair?
What? Can you repeat, please?
Excuse me. Yes. Would you
Can
like?
you repeat, please? I
Yes,
didn't hear the question.
okay. I'll repeat the question. What was the main focus of this, or the main aim of this year's edition of the book fair?
To collect together new countries and to collect a lot of visitors to share the information about Egypt for make focus about Egypt identity and also connect people with different culture from different countries.
Yes.
So it's a very great point to be connected with different countries, with different culture, to see foreign people walking in our places and try to find new things and sharing them with some experience or some information about Egypt. It was a very good point this year.
Yes, so concerning the participation or the number of visitors every day or the number of visitors until now, how did you see it, the capacity of people participating?
Yeah, there is a huge participation and good participation from people till now. I think the number till now exceeds 2.5 million visitors, and a lot of people are found in the Cairo International Book Fair, and there is a lot of places in the book fair, a lot of halls concerning children, concerning Islamic books, related to different cultural issues. So a lot of people already visited the book fair till now, and I think by the end of the event, it will exceed 4 million people.
Yes, so what about the activities and the seminars that took place and the writers that have participated and what are the subject or the kinds of books that were discussed during the seminars that took place during the event or the fair?
As you mentioned, there are a lot of activities and cultural events and about 500 cultural events, including seminars. So it's varied in issues and vary in topics. Has a lot of addresses. So it varies. It has variable content related or focusing on the culture, focusing on the humanities, focusing on human rights, something like that. So it differs from seminar to another.
Yes. Now, Dr. Marzouk, about the number of publishers participating, they are a total of 1,047 publishers that were participating in this year's fair. Among them are 707 are Egyptians, while 340 are from foreign countries. How do you see the importance of this number? Of course, the number of Egyptians are doubled.
Yes, it's a very good point to enhance the Egyptian publishers to share in this great event. And also the foreign publishers already found because the Cairo International Book Fair is the oldest and biggest book fair, and it's considered the second book fair all over the world after Frankfurt. It came in the second stage. So this great event and this great book fair attracting a lot of publishers, even from outside or from inside Egypt. So it's a very good point to enhance the cultural level of the yes and introduce different topics, different books, different activities. It can share in the cultural improvement.
Yes, Dr. Marzouk, could you give us a hint about the history of the book fair in Egypt, which started in the year 1969?
Yes, it's already started, as you mentioned, in 1969, and after a small idea, and after that, this idea began to be huger, and a lot of improvements and development comes to this idea, and already takes every year takes a character to be a guest of honor and focus on some topics, focus on the identity of the Egyptian character, and try to introduce a lot of services to the community and to the people who visit the book fair. And even this year, there is a lot of services found in the book fair for the visitors. Even the online shop already provided to people who can't come to the exhibition, and also a lot of services for the new generation, for the students, some discounts for the students. So it takes a lot of stages from 69, from this small idea, till become in this picture this year.
Yes, so Dr. Marzouk, also the book fair, when it started, it was at first in Zamalek in Al Jazeera, then it turned to the Nasr City at the Cairo International Fair Zone in Nasr City. Then it was moved to the fifth settlement at the new Cairo, but we would like to know the importance of the government and the state facilitating the transportation means for the people to go there. And as you've just mentioned, it came out that people, even if it's far away at the new Cairo, the people also attends, and a large number of visitors that exceeds 4 million visitors are visiting the facilitations that the state is providing for people to attend and to visit the fair this year. Could you give us an idea about this?
Yes, there is a huge effort from the government to provide many transportation lines. I think it exceeds 7 lines in Cairo, to take people and transport them from center of Cairo to the place of the exhibition. So I think there are a lot and a huge number of passes found and provided for visitors to facilitate the transportation for them.
Yes.
It was a very good thing, and if you finished your finished your trip in the Cairo International Book Fair and try to go back, you find a lot of passes in front of the gate, so it was very easy for visitors to be there.
I thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your valuable information, Dr. Iman Marzouk, member of the Egyptian Writers Union. Thank you very much for joining us over the phone. I thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for following me in this segment. My name is Amal Mukhtar. I leave you with the rest of the segments of the Breakfast Show with my colleague Nermeen Abdurrahman.